Do I even have to say it? Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to our season premiere of BHEMP On The SPOT. I am your host, Taz, and of course, we have an excellent interview lined up for you all tonight. But before we get into that, I want to remind you all, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of that, because tonight is going to be huge. This is the start of a great season. Obviously, the theme of this season is repairing the Black family. Right. And I want to remind you all that our Harlem Nights event is going to be coming up later this year. So make sure that you go to mybimp.com to pre-register. Now, this interview I'm especially excited about. My interviewee is very excited about it. We've been planning on this for a long time. I told you on Tuesday, this has been almost a year in the making. We've been talking about doing this. So I don't want to waste any more time. Without any further ado, our interviewee, ZELUZ. Let's get it.
Yeah, that's how I see I wasn't always holy. For the people that really think to know me, thinking the one way when I don't even show it. Wait, I was never a poet, but I had a dream, so I got a bit and I wrote it. I was given the crown, so I promised to hold it, but I never asked for it. So now that I'm chosen, yeah, I'ma carry this legacy. Never show the world everything I need to see. Never always pray for my enemies, cause never never see that I'm fighting to break free. Yeah, what is motivation? No matter what you face, keep on going hard. What is dedication? Keeping your focus, never falling off. Just really when you're heavy on my time, they stop and decide to get feel, trying to find a way to block it. Running from again, be your option, I got a rock.
My brother ZELUZ, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Go. How you doing, man?
Doing good.
Can't complain.
Thank you for accepting our interview to come on the show, and I'm so glad to have you, man. So glad to have you.
No, I'm happy to be here, bro.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. Now I want to get right into it. Like I said, this thing has almost been a year in the making, so I'm excited. Let's just jump into this thing. So, first thing, it's my understanding, because keep in mind, anybody who's in any form of entertainment, whether it be sports, whether it be music, whether it be even in the acting industry or in film industry, there's two sort of parts of an entertainer, right? For example, we're on this show, I'm Taz, right? But outside of this show, I'm still Taz, but it's a different type of Taz, a Taz that not everybody sees. So my first question to you is to sort of tell us about the journey of ZELUZ, the person, and how ZELUZ, the artist, was conceived out of that. So sort of take us on your journey.
Well, I wasn't always ZELUZ. My real name is Azel. So how I became ZELUZ is an interesting story, but we'll jump into it. So you want to go straight from the beginning, like how?
Start from the beginning, man. Just start from the beginning and go.
Start. Okay. As you know, my father is the elder of the Gathering of Christ Church, Recording and he was teaching since I was in Pampers. If that makes sense, and he's also a musician himself. So when it came to like what I wanted to do as a kid, and the thing, like, music was not in my near future. Like, I did not see music being for me. Like, my father did it. He was a singer. He was a songwriter. He actually got a record deal from it. But I seen other things. I wanted to be a boxer. I wanted to be a football player. You get what I'm saying? Like, and even certain points, I wanted to be a soccer player. Like, music was never in my near future. Never thought about it. Never wanted to be a rapper. Didn't know what ZELUZ could be. Didn't think about it until one interesting day where my father came to me with the teachings that he teaches now today about the end times and the things that's going on the earth. And at first, I wasn't always agreed with a lot of things he was saying, because I was still in the world. I was still doing what I wanted to do. I wanted to grow up. I knew I was the chosen. I knew that, but I wanted the blueprint for my life and what I wanted to do, which was I wanted to choose the world at this time. I'm like 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm young. So when it came time for us to leave the States, because my father was the one taking care of me.
Mm-hmm.
When it was time for me to leave the States, we moved to Egypt.
Mm.
And we moved to Alexandria, Egypt. When I got there, I'm like, what
It's a
is going
culture
on?
shock.
I'm like, what is going on, man? People staring at me.
I ain't never
I
seen so much sand in my life.
no listen. Thing is, it's not even as sandy as people think. It's city. Like it's like
Oh.
it's dirty. Don't get it twisted. It's dirty. Like you talking about if you talking about the slum third world country, Egypt got it. Like but it's a built city, electricity, McDonald's
Yeah.
over there, KFC over there, taxis, anything you can think of that you want here in America, they got there. And but when we moved over there, mind you, my dad still got the church going. He had a few brothers move over there with him also. Like we had a congregation over there.
Mm-hmm.
And within the congregation, we had a brother who's now an elder over in Houston. His name is Ariel Gabar.
Mm-hmm.
He was my dad put him over the music firm, over the whole situation, because my dad put music on the back burner for a while, and
Mm-hmm.
so he could focus on the works. But Ariel Gabar, he was still heavy in the music. Like when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
making truth music, he was one of the first true rap. Like he was the first true rapper I heard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care
Yeah,
what
yeah,
people
yeah,
try
yeah.
to
I
say.
know
You know what I'm
about
saying?
Ori. Yeah, I got that
You
reputation.
get what I'm saying? Like I don't care what nobody say. He was the first one. Like so,
Yeah,
he's the goat in this. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
and he's the one that told me, when you do it, don't just say, "Oh, yeah, the Most High name this. I'm a Hebrew this, da 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 da," and don't just go saying saying what other people might not understand at the moment. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just because you know it, the world might not know it. You get what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
do a whole verse in Hebrew. People gonna be like, "Okay, what is he saying?" They're gonna turn it off. You
Mm-hmm.
get what I'm saying? So he was the
Exactly,
one
exactly.
that put me in that mindset. And man, I'm like, okay, this is interesting because now when we got to Egypt, this is where my spiritual journey started, where I really started seeing certain things and understanding, like, yo, okay, maybe we, like, I know we're the chosen, but maybe the Most High did split the Red Sea. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I'm looking at the
Yeah,
pyramids.
yeah.
Like, when I seen the pyramids, I seen how these built. I'm like, that first pyramid, I'm like, okay, like, why is it like the nose is shot up the face. Like everything he was saying, you get what I'm saying? Like the nose
Mm-hmm.
being shot up the face to try to hide that he was a black man and stuff like that. Like I
Mm-hmm.
actually seen it with my own eyes. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I'm like, okay, I start digging deeper and started studying for myself and
Mm-hmm.
start looking at certain things. And one scripture that really caught my eye, that really helped me, was Colossians 2:8.
Mm-hmm.
When I was like I said, I wanted my own way and wanted my own life and wanted my own belief.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I really read Colossians 2:8, when it said, "Beware any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit," that hit me because I'm like, okay, if I stay in this mindset where like, okay, I'm choosing my path, I'm choosing my God, I'm choosing all this, what I
Mm-hmm.
want for myself, how do I know that this is what I'm supposed to be? You get what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna just be
Exactly.
all, my mind is gonna be all over the place. I don't have no
Mm-hmm.
direction. So I
Mm-hmm.
need a foundation, I need a direction, I need a spiritual guidance to really get me through the path I am.
Mm-hmm.
So when after that happened, Ariaga Bar, we all if he watching this, he gonna laugh because because we had this conversation
Yeah.
and he don't really remember it, but like I remember it because I was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
But he we all in the room, right? It's me, Ariel, it's a brother Raphael. He the one that brought brother Raphael is the one that brought the studio to Egypt. He
Mm-hmm.
brought the equipment and everything. And we had Micah Allah, which is the producer.
Mm-hmm.
Maestro, which is who I still work with to this day.
Yeah.
And we was all in the room and they was making beats, they was making music. I was just there. I was like 15 years old. You get
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
just there just to be there. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to
Yeah.
the studio like so
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
so I'm just there just to be there. So then I see them all writing, I see them all rapping and whatnot. I'm like, okay, I like it. They was like, asking me, don't want to get on. I'm like, no, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to
Mm-hmm.
just so show some support, like to listen in and whatnot. They was
Mm-hmm.
going hard. They made a song called "This Is War." I will never forget. "This Is War." It was the longest song. This song probably had to be like 10 minutes, bro. We had like 7 people on this song. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, this is not how it worked, but we'll you mean we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
So one day it was me and Maestro. We was in the studio by ourselves, and he made this beat. I will never forget it. He made this beat called "Written in the Stars." Like at this time, it was the best beat I ever heard in my life. Like I didn't hear no one in the industry on this type time. I didn't hear no one on this type. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't hear
Yeah,
a
yeah,
beat like
yeah.
this. So then like once he had the foundation, I started telling him to put certain stuff in. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So and I asked him, I was like, you mind if I get on this? Mind you, another thing I forgot to mention, they had a rating rule where REI implied a rule where like, okay, because after the This Is War track, after that track, they realized there was too many people on it, and they know that no one's gonna want to listen to a 10-minute song. So what they did was they started making it where like, okay, all because we had like 7 or 8 rappers and probably like 2 or 3 singers or whatnot. It was like 10 artists in one room that want to get on one beat. So what REI started doing to make it fair, he was like, okay, if there's a beat that anybody want to get on, the 3 best verses, well, the best hook is going to be the hook, and the 3 best verses is going to be on the song, and then out of those 3 best verses, the best verse is going to go last. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So it was more
You
of
so
like
it's sort of like bidding with verses.
exactly.
You're bidding with verses, yeah.
Exactly, and it's really like it's challenging each other. It's like okay, it's not a thing where like oh, I'm better than you, because like, there's certain days where people versus was better than others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
It all happened in your moment. And so Maestro plays Written in the Stars, right? We all in the studio. I'm in my head. I'm mad because I'm like I already knew Ariel was the best one.
Yeah.
He was the best rapper in the room, so I'm like I already know he's on it. So he had 3 verses. So I write to it, and my brother Howard was there too, and we had 3 verses. So it was time for me to write my verse or whatnot, write my verse. So I was secretive with it, and that's still how I write to this day. And it's crazy. I'm very personal with my lyrics. And I never knew why, but now I know why today. But I never knew why back then. But I was just in the corner. They was like, "Let me hear it." I'm like, "Nah, I'm not done yet." So I'm writing my verse, and when it was time to rap it, everybody in the room was like, "Ooh, that's cool." REI, he was like, "That's trash." He told me straight up. He was like, little bro. He's like, I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to make it you mean. I don't want you to embarrass yourself. He's like, that's trash. Me being no, I was 16. Me being 16 at this time, I'm like, all right, no, it's cool. It's cool. Mind you, I'm hurt. I'm really hurt thinking
You
like,
heard
then I start saying like, well, I didn't want to do music anyway. That's the type of environment I got into, the type of bag I got into. So I go home, tears running through my face. Tears running them. I'm talking to my dad. I'm like, they ain't want me on the song. Well, watch this. They sitting there. They was laughing at first because they was like, you'll get there. Like you'll get your moment. I'm like, nah. So, and I said, listen, I'm gonna write, and I'm gonna get better. I ain't gonna do a song with nobody. I'm gonna get hot. They gonna want a song. They gonna want to do a song with me. Like I was in that bag. Like I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get hot, and I'm gonna send it to him. Like, no, you can't get on. Like I was in there really in that mission. But so the whole time I was in Egypt, I was only in Egypt for 6 months, and then I moved to England. I moved to England with my father. Through the 6 months though, no, they didn't hear from me. What we was brothers, obviously. We was hanging out when but they didn't hear a lick from me again when it came to music. They thought I stopped out, but behind the scenes, I was really writing. So I'm like, because it was a beat that I really liked. The first beat I ever heard that was like, yo, I can like this is crazy. You get what I'm saying? And I couldn't be a part of that. That hurt me.
Yeah.
In a way where like I made it to where like this will never happen to me again. You get what I'm saying? Especially if it's something that I really like this. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure that I bring my best. So I'm writing. 6 months go by. I'm in England, brother Mike. So we over in England. I'm still writing. And I finally get a break where I work with this brother named Dawid over there in England, and he was he took me to the studio with this guy named Firstborn. He's like industry over there. You know what I'm saying? So we made a song called "Make It Better," where I wrote the hook. He sung the hook, and I did the verses or whatnot. Didn't thinking nothing of it. So my dad stumbled across it on his computer. He stumbled across it. He waking me up. It's like 2 a.m. He yelling, "Hey, Zal!" I'm like, I'm thinking I'm in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking I'm in trouble, bro. Hey, Zal! I was like, huh? He's like, come here. So I'm like, oh man, what I do now? I'm like, I'm asleep. Like, what did I do? So I go downstairs. He was like, is this you? I was like, what? So he played it because it was on his laptop. It was on his computer. It was on his tower. I was like, yeah, that's me rapping. And he was like, who's down the hook? I was like, that's Double Dot. He was like, oh, who wrote the hook? I was like, I wrote it. He was like, you wrote that hook? I was like, yeah. He didn't believe
Yep.
he didn't believe me. He didn't believe me. So he's like, nah, you ain't write this hook. I'm like, I wrote the hook. So we called the brother and everything. Called him and everything. He was like, yo, did Azel help you with this hook or had anything a part of it? He was like, yeah. He said, we sat there, we rolled it in his living room. He told me what to sing. I came, and he one taped it. He one taped it and killed it. Because he was more experienced than me in music. Like, the guy I was working with, he was way more experienced than me in music. But he liked what I wrote. He was like, yo, I want to sing that. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when that happened, that's what got me in the rhythm. That's when I started getting taken serious.
Mm-hmm.
When it came to and my dad's eyes when it came to music. Everybody else, it still no one heard me. I did music, left it on the computer, didn't show anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So Maestro came over, and when Maestro flew over to we was in Manchester at this time. When he flew over,
Mm-hmm.
and he made a beat and he named it Conspiracy, and so I wrote my verse. We never finished the song. I just wrote my verse, spit my verse, and then he sent it out to everyone in Egypt because he was still close to everyone in Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody hit me up. They're like, "Yo, Hazel, this is you. You got a lot better. Like this is crazy. Like we gotta work." In my head, I'm like, "Nah, not needed." But at the same time, like,
I promise they wouldn't be able to get on.
they said we gotta work. But then, like, once I started seeing that as I was progressing, because again, I still wasn't as good as I am today.
Mm-hmm.
I still, like, when I listen back at that stuff, I'm like, what was you doing? You know what I'm saying? But like, it made me realize how I found my spiritual path and my purpose at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Because usually a lot
Yeah.
of people, when they find a spiritual path, they still don't know their purpose.
Exactly.
They still don't know what they want to live for. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and the fact that I found all of that in the same year,
Mm-hmm.
I praise the Most High every day for that. You get what I'm saying? And when it came to like people wanting to work with me and everything, I started realizing like I'm like, okay, Ariaga Bar, he saved my life. He helped me. You know what I'm saying? And that's my OG and that's my elder. You know what I'm saying? Like, till this day, I got nothing but respect for that man. Anything this man asks me to do, I do. Because like, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be the artist I am today. You know what I'm saying? I'd have probably been trash. If he acted on what I was doing, I have no intentions of changing. You get what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if somebody tell you going hard, you're not gonna change. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So the fact is, he seen that it was broken. He was like, yo, you need to fix it. Made me realize, like, when I was young, I didn't understand it at the time. But this time, I'm like 18, I'm 17 and 18. And now I'm like, yo, thank you. And he started sending me beats. You get what I'm saying? This is the guy that was the hardest in the room. Every time we know that he was getting on the track. And he starts sending me beats to get on. So I'm like, okay, we got something here. So as we working, we traveling overseas, going to different areas. I start experiencing certain things. That's when I got introduced to grime music. And grime music is like a UK genre, like for rap. It's like they rap over like fast tempo type beats, and that's also where they get UK drill stem from. Where you got New York drill and stuff like that from. That's where that stems from. So I started listening to a lot of that stuff, and I realized with that I couldn't rap in that accent, but the flows is what helped me. Like the way they said things and that pattern.
Now this right here is the spirit, because you know what, what you're going into now is exactly what I was going to ask you next. Was exactly my next question I was going to ask you about. My next question was, how did living in the UK change your view of music and affect your genre?
Oh man, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
I just wanted to put that out there. That this whole thing is completely organic. But you can see that the spirit is definitely in this thing. When I was writing these questions over the week, that's definitely. But keep going.
That's crazy, yo.
I want to stop you.
It's the spirit, bro. But yeah, so as I'm listening to grime, I seen like their flow was on point, but their beats was so unorthodox. You get what I'm saying? So what I wanted to do was I wanted to mix their flow with the US sound. That's where you get the flow that I have today. You get what I'm saying? Like, my flow is a UK flow with an American accent. You get what I'm saying? Like, I tell people that all the time. Like, I'm not saying I took my flow from a particular artist, but like, if I'm in a room or whatever, like people gonna know when I rap, they're gonna know it's not what they hear every day. You get what I'm saying? They're gonna know like it's not no old boom bap or it's not no old trap. It's like, okay, what is this? You can't put it in a box. I didn't know that's what was happening at the time because I genuinely liked this stuff. And I genuinely was listening to it. But as I started rapping like it and started doing grind beats and stuff like that, I started realizing like, yo, Azel, you're on to making your own genre right now in rap. So when it came to how it really transformed, like how it really made my sound, like it made me comfortable the fact that like I now have an advantage of different avenues of music. Because like when you're in the States, like a lot of people just listen to people from the city they're from or from the same country. Like, but in the UK, you got French artists that people listen to. You got Spanish artists that people listen to. Like it's all these countries in Europe that's on the charts.
It's an
You get what I'm
underrated
saying?
melting pot. We only think about the US as being a melting pot, but we forget how diverse the UK is. You know,
Yeah,
you got everybody's in the UK.
exactly. Yeah, it's a mini America. It's
Yeah,
really a
yeah.
mini America. Like, and technology wise, it's more advanced in America. Technology wise. So yeah, so a lot of these songs was on the charts and whatnot. So I'm listening to French rappers and I'm looking like I don't know what they saying, but they flow. It made me run it back. I'm like, hold on, I know it. I know what he's doing. I don't know what he's saying, but I know what he's doing is hard to do. You get what I'm saying? I know that for a
Exactly.
fact. Like I don't gotta know what he's saying to know that like this man is going hard right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
how his flow was, and also sonically how it sounded. Like for some reason European mixes was always better than the US mix. The US mix just got on that. You know what I'm saying? Like they work with an engineer, but like the UK always had that electronic sound with certain. They was always on it. Like when they never was flowed with mixing. So now I'm like, you know what? I want that. And what stemmed me from putting music out for a while is because I didn't have an engineer that could copy what I was hearing. I like that's the perfectionist in me. I know that could be a gift and a curse, but like I wasn't gonna sell myself short knowing what I want my music to sound like, knowing what I was envisioning. Because again, that won't do me no justice, and also that won't do the Most High no justice. Being as though He gave me the talent to do what I need to do. I
And
really
that's one
believe.
thing that a lot of people downplay that is I'm the son of a musician myself. So my dad was a singer. I remember being in and around the studio with him and how big it is to have the right people who can do their job around you, because it's your job to write and to create the music. But a lot of times there's that bigger aspect of needing someone who can handle the technical side of it, especially since like you said, it's a perfectionist scene where it's like, listen, I can do it myself, but it definitely won't be this. It won't come out the way that I envision it, or the vision that the Most High put in me to put it out. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I see that.
Yeah, it's I'm not doing like I'm really throwing His blessing that He gave me in the trash. You
Exactly,
get what I'm saying?
exactly.
There was times where like what song did I what song was that? I don't think I ever let you hear it. I don't think anybody heard it, but it's a song that I did about 5 or 6 years ago. It was called Interviews.
Mhm.
And I did that with my brother Envision. Shout out Envision. That's another part of the journey that gets crazy.
You know what's crazy? I hold off on that because I got that in here too.
Oh, you got Envision?
It literally says shout out Envision right here on my.
Yo, listen, and then Envision,
Yep.
that story gonna get crazy. You get what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
my bro. That's my bro. You get what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
that's when it got real.
Hmm.
That's when it got real. But like, where was I at? Yeah, so basically, like I didn't have like that engineer, or I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't really know what to do because I'm sitting trying to mix this up myself, and
Hmm.
you got instruments to store it. You got all types of stuff going on, and
Hmm.
I'm like, no, this ain't what I want. So I started looking up stuff. Started looking up stuff going on YouTube. This is like what I'm talking about now. This is like 2011, 2012. You get
Hmm.
what I'm saying? This is 10 years ago. We already
Yeah,
passed the 2 year mark. This is 10 years ago now. Like we even scratched the surface of where it's
yeah.
going. And as I'm looking up certain stuff, I started realizing that it's more to this music than I think.
Hmm.
And I start looking at the business side of things and like the labels and the money you need behind certain things. And like I start really seeing like, okay, this is a business, bro. Like
Hmm.
this ain't like you just rapping and make it. Like
Yep.
you have to be on point, like with everything, like everything part of your career. Like you got to make sure, like you got to make sure your schedule is as on point as your music. You get what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
you gotta
Exactly.
make sure your timing is on point as the sound of your music. Like
Yeah.
everything has to coexist with each other. And I didn't understand it until I turned 19.
And we talked, and you and I both talked about that as well. A long while ago, we was talking about timing and scheduling, and the order of releases and how you release it and all that kind of stuff. And that's one of the things that I remember from being young as well. I was like, because I remember, like I said, I'm the son of a musician myself. So when you talk to when I went to talk to my pops about, hey, maybe think about doing this. My dad left. And I remember like a week later, he came back with like a stack of books that were all about the music industry, learning the
Wow,
music industry.
that's
All of
dope.
them books, and if you ask them, we still have those books to this day, I believe,
That's
in storage. He had a bunch of books. He said, "Read these
that's
to learn
amazing.
the industry."
That's
Right?
amazing. That
And that's just to show you how complex this thing is. People think that it's just about writing and spitting. Like
nah.
this thing is. You can have all the talent in the world, the best bars, the best beats, but if your business ain't right, if your house ain't in order,
Mm-hmm. It's gonna fall.
it's gonna
Like
fall.
it's not it's like you're like it's a pipe dream at that point. Like
Exactly.
you're not like it's like everything. You need structure to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Only failures don't have structure. You get what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like you can't just say
Exactly.
I'm a rap and then turn it off and then don't even put no more time towards. You got to know. Nah, like I realized like just as much time like writing, I had to
Mm-hmm.
put more time into studying the business. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, this where it came to me when I was like 19. So this like 2013 now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, I need a manager. I need a manager because I started while I was traveling certain parts of Europe. I started like it was no open mics. So what
Mm-hmm.
I used to do is I used to go to karaoke. My father used to come with me too. I used to go to karaoke bars,
Mm-hmm.
and what I used to do is karaoke bar would be packed out. And what I would do is I'll put a song in. They'll think that I'm going to do the actual song, but I'll just start rapping my own lyrics over the beat.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when I start rapping my lyrics over the own beat, crowd was like, "Oh!" They looking at the screen, then they looking at me. They like, "Okay." They was like, "He going in." You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
not saying what's on. They trying to read what's on the screen, try to keep up, but they seen I was saying something totally different. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was rapping over like generic stuff they had, like Kanye West, Stronger,
Mm-hmm.
um, what else was there? Heartless, Dead and Gone by Ti, like stuff like that, like
Mm-hmm.
commercially hits and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I used to put my own lyrics to them because I used to write so much to like the beats that Maestro used to make. Maestro gave me 150 beats to write to,
Mm-hmm.
like, and it was no way that I could plug it in or do the songs that I written. Also, the quality wasn't there. So
Mm-hmm.
what I should do was I should just take the song, take the beat they had, have an old written verse that I already had, and then rap it at the karaoke joint. So
Mm-hmm.
when that happened, people used to walk past the karaoke bar thinking that it was my show. So people used to come in and sit down, and they'll get disappointed when I get off when it's my turn over. They be like, "Hold on, this wasn't your show." I'm
They
like,
thought they was
"Nah."
coming to see. They thought they was coming to see you.
Yeah, because on the strip, like it was a bunch of white people. When I was it was a strip. It was the only thing that had hip hop going on.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is dressed down the street. You got people dressed as Elvis. You got people dressed as like Michael Jackson doing action. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
that type time. It wasn't okay original music like hip hop or something like that's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
So when okay, that's where I'm going. So when the owner of the place, he started seeing that people was leaving after my song or whatnot. After my song, he seen people was leaving. So he was like, okay, he's like, okay, Zell, this is what I'm gonna do. If you stay and do a few more songs, all your food is on me. Da, da, da. He started doing little stuff like that, and I
Yeah.
didn't realize why he was doing it. I'm young. I'm like, okay, cool. So as we doing, and then my dad would get up and sing. Sometimes he would sing a few songs, and when I will do a song together,
Mm-hmm.
and like more people will come in, more people will come in. So what that started bringing was shows. So now the owner seeing what we was doing on the karaoke nights, he
Mm-hmm.
wanted make our own show. You get what I'm saying? So what he started doing was I started performing every what was it, Saturday night. Every Saturday night I would perform at that venue. So he'll give me a little avenue to where I can do my own stuff and the covers of what I was doing. So I was able to build a little fan base with that, doing them shows. I wasn't too social media savvy, but I was able to build a live fan base so they can see like, okay, he's serious. You get what I'm saying? This is what he do. He's here every Saturday on time. He's doing it. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I get back in the lab. I start taking me performing. It helped with my. It helped. What I say, helped my creativity when it comes to structuring songs. When I have breaks, when I have sex, so I can have that crowd engagement with my music. You get what I'm saying? So me doing those songs, it started helping me with that in the studio. So I'm like, okay, let me not dumb down my lyrics, but let me be more simplified with certain things. Let me slow my flow down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let me speed it up on certain parts. Let me make sure my hook have a sing along. You get what I'm saying? So that's where my creativity started coming from. So I'm like, okay, when people hear these songs, when they leave, they're like, okay, they singing it, not even knowing collectively. You know what I'm saying? Like the song Dear Babylon, like stuff like that. That's why I learned to make stuff like that doing shows, because I'm like, okay, I want people to remember this. I don't want people just to come see it and then forget about it the next morning. I want people to understand, like, yo, it's a movement going on here. So so that happened from 2013, like 2015. I'm going to different places. I'm going to France and stuff like that. And then I'm finally back in Manchester in 2016, right? I met Envision in 2014. I met Envision in 2014. We met, we visited back over there. We had a lesson at the church, and he told me he produced. So I didn't take him serious. You get what I'm saying? I didn't take everybody like, even he didn't take me serious. When people say they do music, no one's gonna take you serious at first. You know what I'm saying? Like if I haven't heard from you and you're not popping, you don't do music.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is.
You try music. You don't do music. You try music.
Yeah, you don't do music. You know what I'm saying? So like when I was with him the whole trip. I like, for some reason, something really gravitated to this brother. I don't know what it was, bro, but like something, I really gravitated to this dude. I'm like, okay, even though I didn't feel like this before I heard his beats, and I was like, okay, you probably not that good. When you know what I'm saying? Like it was a spirit that made me like him. You get what I'm saying? So we breaking bread. We going to different parts of Manchester, through the city, like eating. I'm talking just me and him. Like we got a whole congregation. Everybody we'll go and vibe out and chill.
Yeah.
Like we at the bus station, and then he let me hear his stuff when he was on the bus. He let me hear his stuff. I'm like, yo, you not bad, bro. Like, cause I can hear like, after working with Maestro, I had a certain standard. Like this man could play keys like nobody else, and don't even know how to read music. You get what I'm saying? So like that's what I was used to working with. So when Envision showed me some of his beats and like the things he was working on, I'm like, yo, you got something, bro. I'm like, you really got something. I'm like, it's not all the way there, but you got something. This was November 2014. Fast forward, because I went back. I went back to the Greek islands, and then I was performing for that next year through 2015. So then I went back to the UK. Here, I'm like, me and Envision linked back up. We linked back up, and and he got better. I'm talking about, like he got even more, and I got better. You get what I'm saying? Like I got better, he got better. And the first song we did was called Interviews. This was the first song ever that I dreamed about and came to fruition. It was the first song that I ever had a dream about, the lyrics, the verse, and everything, written it down. I walked straight up. I wasn't having it. I'm not losing this. Walked straight up, wrote it down. He had a beat. He sampled DMX song, Slipping, Falling. I can't get up. But he did that like that sample. And I'm like, oh. So, but we called the song Interviews. Like, it's not like interviews, it's like interviews. You get what I'm saying? It was a reflection type song. So we working on that. We using like the Shure mic. And this time when he pulled the Shure mic out again, it doubted me. I'm like, oh, here we go. We're not being professional again. Like, I'm big on professionalism, bro. I'm not recording with a song that I should be performing with. That's not happening. So, but I just did it just to do it. We eventually got a mic. we do interviews, and from this point, we still had the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
He did not know how. He did not know how to engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I'm back at square one. I have a producer. I'm even better than I was years ago, but I still
Mm-hmm.
have that same issue.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? My music is not coming out how. So I'm like, you know what, Nick, we about to learn how to engineer. He was like, all right, say that. So he already had the advantage because he was a DJ. He was a
Mm-hmm.
DJ and he's a producer. So
Mm-hmm.
he already had the advantage of sound. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
bands though he had that advantage. I used that and I'm asking him, I'm like, because he used to mix down his beats. So I used
Mm-hmm.
to ask him certain stuff. I'm like, okay, what plugin did you use? Or what effect did you use on that? What effect did you use on that? Okay, try to use that on my voice. You get what I'm saying? Like to
Mm-hmm.
see certain things he used on his beats, we were using on my voice. Some would work, something didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But while we were doing it, we was finding our own sound.
Mm-hmm.
Like while we were doing it, like
Yeah.
it was like a dark, uplifting, like it was crazy. It was crazy how it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So and I'm like, okay, we um we linking with Elder Gadget from the UK.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mind you, he always in Jamaica when I and we came across this song that Gadget. I think God did Gadget show Nate this song or Nate did Nate already have it. I think Elder Gadget showed him this
Mm-hmm.
song by Stephen Marley. He had called Strangers.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, you talking about Raga? You go, okay, okay. I know about him. I know about him.
mhm. So
Rock Stone is my favorite.
we chopped up the hook and we made like mind you, we in the kitchen. Me and Nick, we in the kitchen. I'm cooking. Well, I'm washing dishes. He cooking. We
Mm-hmm.
sitting there rapping. I said what I say. I said so we need you and you need me. So just tapping. If we fight this brother, we're gonna end up where we need to be. I was just doing a flow, and then he was
Mm-hmm.
just making a drum pattern. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, okay, we can work with that. So then he grabbed the sample, brought the sample in.
Mm-hmm.
This song was done, recorded, done, written like within an hour. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Within an
yeah, yeah.
hour, bro. So and then we listening back, we like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is like we on to something. You get what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
the chemistry is there.
Mm-hmm.
So a time where my grandmother got sick, made a little rest of her soul. She's passed away recently.
Mm-hmm.
She got sick, and we had to come back to the States to help take care of her.
Condolences. Condolences, man. Definitely sorry
No,
for your loss.
no, it's cool, man. It's hard, but like it's life. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And
Mm-hmm.
what's coming, I'd rather her be what she is now than deal with what's coming in this world, bro.
Yeah,
You
man.
know what I'm saying?
Definitely, definitely.
So like, but yeah. So as we coming back to the States, me and Nate still stay connected. So we you ever heard the song Dreamwork we did?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so Dreamwork, that was the first song we worked on, the first release we had when I came back to the States. But
Mm-hmm.
now everything has just been online. Like everything you're hearing, like even painting the canvas, he envisioned it that.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's really and he's mixing now. All the stuff you're hearing, he's mixing it. Like he's mixing it, he's mastering it. It's coming out exactly how we're hearing it. But
Mm-hmm.
it was a process. Like it took us like 2 years to get to that point, but like we understood the same thing. And that's
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I love about this brother. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Mm-hmm.
know that like I don't want to put certain things outside in a certain way. He don't want to put certain things outside in a certain way. So with that, it's one mind. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You already know the scriptures say two more gathered in Christ is in the midst. So you
Mm-hmm.
can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't, you can't do nothing unless you'll be agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that we had that chemistry and had that same motivation and same goal, that was able to really shape around the sound that I have today. And
Mm-hmm.
also, when it comes to rap names, my name wasn't always Zealous. I needed a rap name when I was younger. My first rap name was Lil Easy. My first name, and you know what's crazy? Howard actually gave me that name. My brother Yahweh, shout out Yahweh, man. He actually gave me that name because we was doing. I don't know what we was doing, man. I know exactly what we was doing. We was recording. We was
Mm-hmm.
recording in the living room. We had this beat. We was just trying to do like a little freestyle joint. We was like, we're gonna drop it on YouTube. I know who we thought we was. Like, we're gonna just drop it on YouTube. Like, do something they ain't ready for it. You know? So, so and then when he was finished his verse, he said, I'm signing off. I passed the mic to Lil Easy. I was like, hold on, I like that. You get what I'm saying? So I stuck with it for a little minute. Stuck with it a little easy. To like, I was Lil Easy for a grip from like probably from like 2011 all the way up to 2015.
Damn, that's a long time. That's a long time.
I was
you was Lil Easy. That wasn't
I was Lil Easy.
Was is.
and then after that, I like for some reason I just grew out of that. I don't know what it was. Something told me it was like, okay, your music is getting more real. Like this when things was getting serious, and I wanted to be taken serious. I didn't want to be called Lil Easy, so I changed my rap name to ZELUZ. So being as though I didn't have a real direction of what I wanted to do with my name, because everybody was saying like, won't your rap name be ZELUZ? Because that's not a common name; it's your real name. You get what I'm saying? Like you don't hear that every day. He was like, won't you just have that? So I would just rock with it until one day I started realizing. Like they was like, okay, when things get big and things actually start moving, what do you want to call your fan base? And I was like, I don't know. And then Nate was like, oh, he's like, what, you have any like ideas or what you want to do or where you want to go with this? And then I to myself, I'm thinking, I'm like, no, I don't. So, but then it hit me one day. I had like 4 names. I had like 3 names. I had Zelly, which is everyone called me. I had Zelly, Zell, and I had Zeluz. And then Zeluz stuck because it was the Zeal of the Most High and me being overzealous about everything I do. And also it helped me with the fan base is because I make music for people that live the life that I lived before, the life that I live now, which was like people that know what's really going on, but still on that. It's hard for young people to stay on that path. I call them ZELUZ. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know what's going on, but at the same time, it's just something you can't break. It's like the environment around you is not helping you stay on this path. So that's what I call my fan base, the ZELUZ. So yeah. Where was I going from that? Okay, yeah. So that's how you get the name ZELUZ. Yeah. That's when I had my first release under that name. You had Lethal, Unjustified. That was actually last year. My first release is under that name, but I had ZELUZ from 2016 all the way up to like 2019.
Oh, man, I want to stop you right here. We're going to take a brief intermission, and then we're going to come back and get into the second half of after you became ZELUZ and you got the name of ZELUZ, and then we started getting into some of the singles that I wanted to talk to you about as well. So we're going to take a brief intermission here. For those who don't know, ZELUZ here released a song called Lethal not too long ago, and he dropped a music video just about 6 months ago that went crazy. He went crazy on this, everybody. Take a look at this. We'll be right back to continue the second half of this interview. Let's get it.
Appreciate you.
I got a question, why you tryna block my blessings? Y'all can have this world, my treasure in the heavens. I never lost, so my L stands for lessons. Get out my way, cause I'm a walking lethal weapon, yeah. All of my people ready for war, you didn't be scared, nah. All of my enemies don't want to static, I'm telling you stand down. Remember the days you thought it was nothing but look on the man now. You see how the tables turn up, king, it's time to bow down. I got a question, why you tryna block my blessings? Y'all can have this world, my treasure in the heavens. I never lost, on my L stands for lessons. Get out my way, cause I'm a walking lethal weapon, yeah. I think it's a game for real, but we ain't come to make a deal. We used to hold your hell, but now we in charge of time to kneel. You know I got the zeal, they call me zealous, I've been in the field. I don't shoot for nothing, if I squeeze, I'm making the enemy squeal. I've been on a mission, been in the kitchen, I'm not stopping still. I've been holding weight on my shoulder, so I'm used to holding still. Because if I see you out, my order is to shoot to kill. And y'all know not to cross me, cause they know the drill. I got a question, why you tryna block my blessings? Y'all can have this world, my treasure in the heavens. I never lost, so my L stands for lessons. Get out my way, cause I'm a walking lethal weapon, yeah. All of my people ready for war, you didn't be scared, nah. All of my enemies don't want to static, I'm telling you stand down. Remember the days you thought it was nothing but look on the man now. You see how the tables turn up, king, it's time to bow down. Many done wrong, demons seem to follow me, bringing negative energy, my soul is what they want from me. Go ahead, keep trying me, so there's the last thing you would say. I'm telling you, let me be, cause we the ones you would hate to me. There's no bullying me, if you play with fire, you gon' feel this hate. There was nights I was hungry, starved myself so my friend could eat. I'm blessed to make it up out the streets, man, them days was deep. Hearing about home and dying became a normal thing. I got a question, why you tryna block my blessings? Y'all can have this world, my treasure in the heavens. I never lost on my L's, thanks for lessons. Get out my way, cause I'm a walking lethal weapon, yeah. All of my people ready for war, you think they be scared, nah. All of my enemies don't want to static, I'm telling you stand down. Remember the days I thought it was nothing but looking the man now. You see how the tables turn up, King, it's time to bow down. I got a question, why you tryna block my blessings? Y'all can have this world, my treasure in the heavens. I never lost on my L's, thanks for lessons. Get out my way, cause I'm a walking lethal weapon, yeah.
Man, if y'all can't tell my brother is a perfectionist by looking at that music video, I don't know what's gonna tell you, man. That thing was crisp, it was on point. Obviously, the song, the lyrics, everything was on point, man. And thank you for everybody for staying in while we're on the break. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, put it on your story, put it on your timeline, whatever you got to do to let people know that we're live right now interviewing the one and only ZELUZ.
And yo, he just commented a little easy. He spelled it
right. Easy.
He spelled it right too. Look. That's my guy, Bob from Neto. Shout out to him, man. That's my guy. We got some stuff coming too. That's my guy, man. Shout out to him.
Awesome. Now, sort of piggybacking off of where you were coming from versus where you're going into in this interview. One thing that I wanted to ask is, you have a huge testimony. You understand what I'm saying? As far as, who you were versus where you are now. What would you say is the biggest thing that you want viewers here today and people who come across this video later hoping to learn more about ZELUZ and mainly about Azel? What do you want people to learn from what it is that you've went through?
That is never too late. That is never too late, and your mind plays more tricks on you than you actually think it does. Mm-hmm. Like when you in a space where you're thinking you're not good enough for something, or something isn't going to work, or hell, I'm a certain age and I'm not in a certain position in life. Mm-hmm. That's not always the case. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Because everyone has their time, everyone has their moment. And one thing I started realizing that things started working out for me once I gained patience. Mm-hmm. And really start understanding, praying more, and let go the things that's always stopped you from being great. Like bad habits or bad memories or whatever the situation might be. Don't let that stem your future. You get what I'm saying? Don't let that stumble you and make you think that like, oh, I can't. Like even when it came to telling my testimony, like as we was talking about earlier, like I didn't even want to say certain things because I know the man I am today, and I know the person that people notice today when they meet me, and I don't want them to think that like, oh, I'm a bad person now that I've been through this or I did this or whatnot. But at the end of the day, my story can help someone. You know what I'm saying? And let them know like, yo, like it's not over. Like we all have moments where we not at, like it's called growing up. It's called growing up. It's called being like, you got it as soon as you come out the womb. What's the point? What's the point of a life?
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? If you got it from birth. So that's one thing I would say, really, like it's just don't lose focus and know that it ain't over.
And that's the thing is that, a lot of times, we have to understand, we hold ourselves and that's sort of where it starts. You start getting in your own head and becoming selfish in a sense to where you become full of yourself. You get caught up in the way people view you and who you are today versus who you were, and you forget all of our righteousness is filthy rags. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, listen, when you look at where I've come from and where I am now, you understand what I'm saying? It's understanding, listen, man, it's not about me, and it's about everybody else. It's like, I look at who I was and where I am now, same thing as you. And it's like, dang, man, look at where I could have been versus where I am now. You understand what I'm saying? Look at and where I was, somebody else might be waiting for the same thing, the same thing or the same person or the same experience that I had to pull me through.
Exactly. And that's another thing. Take your moment, because this thing don't wait for nobody. If you don't do it, somebody else will.
Mm-hmm.
So take it, and that's another thing I realized. Like I gotta be more structured. I gotta stop waiting.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
certain things that I have control over, I have no control over. I gotta let it
Mm-hmm.
be. But the things that I do have control over, get it done. Be a man.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? That's what I
Exactly.
tell myself.
Exactly.
That's what I tell myself because the opportunity is not there every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a short
Opportunities
window.
come and go. Opportunities come and go.
It
But
closes in a split
opportunities
second.
that you act on last forever.
Exactly. It closes in a split second. And you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
regret yourself, and you're gonna regret it and be mad at yourself for the rest of your life if you don't seize that moment that you had in front of your hands.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna hate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? That's the opposite of what the Most High said we should do, which is love ourselves. So
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, in order for you to love yourself, you gotta seize the moments and really understand what you're made of, and
Mm-hmm.
and leave all the distractions. Like it's not worth it. It's not
Mm-hmm.
worth it. So that's what I would tell anyone
Mm-hmm.
like Ben's though for my story of where I am now, because like I had to mature and I had to really get in this mindset to do
Mm-hmm.
this because this music stuff is not easy. People think
No,
that like
man.
it's fun, yo, it's stressing, and then
Yeah.
also like Lethal, in my opinion, Lethal is not my best song. You get what I'm saying? Like I have
Yeah.
150 songs in my hard drive that people didn't hear. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a perfectionist. I ain't hearing this until I'm ready for it. But like I have 150 songs in my hard drive untouched.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And that I'm gonna get to, and I got a lot to release. But that's why I haven't put an album out. That's why I haven't put an EP out because it
Mm-hmm.
gotta set the standard of what I already did. People
Exactly.
telling me I need to top Lethal. I'm like, listen, wait till you see what's coming. You're gonna forget about
Exactly.
Lethal. You're gonna forget. I'm telling you, you're gonna forget
You,
about Lethal.
you remember the
When I got
conversation we
fast,
had? You remember the conversation we had? I was like, listen, man, I know you got some stuff lined up. I'm like, listen, I was like, I know this ain't the best you got, but this one right here.
yeah, but even we had the conversation when I sent you the exclusive of Painted Canvas.
Yeah.
You was like, yo, this is a game changer.
Yeah.
You said it. You was like, yo, this is a game changer. I got a lot of stuff. Like, even when it comes to that, I got a lot of stuff people didn't hear. But
Mm-hmm.
I need more videos. And I do need to put out more, but I don't want to put out too much. Because
Mm-hmm.
if I oversaturate myself, people is not going to be looking forward to anything. They're going to be like, oh, he's going to drop next week.
And that's the thing, is that we have to understand, we have to take after our example of what Christ left and the way the Most High operates. The Most High operates according to timing and seasons. You understand what I'm saying? The Most High didn't cram all of creation into one day. He could have. He
Cramped it in
didn't cram it into
7,000 years.
1,000 year increments. He had that thing planned out. He had a blueprint it. And that's the same way that we have to learn to operate. It's like everything happens in a season and according to the timing in which it's supposed to happen. If you rush it, you just destroyed. you just really destroyed. You put out a song that would have been great too early, and people wasn't ready for it yet. Like, and that was another question that I wanted to ask is like, people forget there's a level of study that goes into making music itself. You understand what I'm saying? Where it's like, you have to understand what season music is in because music changes all the time. So that's a level of study that goes into it, right? And that's where timing comes in. It's like, okay, so I had this one song that would have been great 6 months ago, but since I waited instead of releasing it when I was supposed to, now I released this. Like, okay, that song sound a little old. It's like trying to pop out with Run DMC. It's like if Run DMC decided, nah, we just gonna wait 40 years and pop out and pop out. It's not gonna be the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? So like your journey, right? Coming to the point now you have your name, right? It's like, okay, I'm Zealous. My fan base gonna be called ZELUZ. What happens after that?
What happens after this is to see what comes, and to like to understand that like I'm sorry that I have everyone waiting, but it's not about me. That's why I take my time. That's why I take my time because it's not about, oh, look at me, look what I'm doing. No, it's for y'all. And if I'm gonna do this for y'all, I'm gonna give y'all the best of me, and I'm gonna show y'all like, yo, I am not playing. You get what I'm saying? Like, I am not playing. Like, I'm not going to sit here and give y'all something just because y'all want it. I'm giving y'all what y'all need. And it's like, what y'all know I'm capable of, y'all going to get it. So, with that being said, like, it's just a matter of time right now. It's just a matter of time. Like, we got Painted Canvas dropping tonight, actually.
Yep.
Tonight. I have a show tomorrow. I have a show, and anybody in the Philadelphia region is more welcome to come. You get what I'm saying? It's gonna be a good time. And also, it's just like, it's again, just be patient with me and understand. Like, I know I don't drop as much as people want me to, but I'm going to come at the right time. And when next time I drop, I don't want to say too much, but it's not going to just be one song or one video. I'm gonna have a whole storyline together. But again, I can't work on this stuff if I'm sitting here constantly just trying to push singles out and trying to push stuff out. Like, I know what I want to do. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Just like the EP I got coming up called Frenemies and Emotions. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's really telling the story about how, like, you could be around the wrong people even if y'all think the same way spiritually. You get what I'm saying? It's like, you got to be careful who you're around. Like, you really got to be careful who you're around, because like, y'all can believe in the same God. Y'all can believe in the same lifestyle. Y'all can do the same thing. You get what I'm saying? You could be almost the same person and still gain an enemy out of that. So that's why I called my EP Frenemies and Emotions, because like, it hurt me losing brothers I thought was brothers. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like, man, like, what happened? So that's gonna be a 7-song EP, and it's basically every song is a step of like where I started and where I am now. And shout out to Ori Agabar, because he sent me some voice memos that he said I can actually use, like some voice messages in between to talk about it. And because that's another thing I wanted to touch on. Bands though, like a lot of people always ask me, why is it that you don't promote like who your father is and things of that nature? Like, I do promote my father, obviously, when he got something going on. But people always ask me that question, and I'm like, mainly it's because, one, I'm my own man. That doesn't take anything away from our relationship. That don't take anything away from the works that he's doing. I just chose a different path in this work. He's doing what he's doing. I'm doing what I'm doing on the music side, because I really believe that I have the strongest approach when it comes to this, when it comes to the youth, because I care about the youth. People, you know what I'm saying? I care about the youth. Like, I don't want it to be where like they just getting ignored, they just following after their parents. No, I want them to have something too. You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy you going into this. It's crazy going into this because I was about to say the same thing. Is that not that people hear the work, hear saying, yeah, we're doing the work, we're talking about the work, and they only think about work as teaching, right? Whereas there's different forms of teaching, there's different forms of ministry, there's different forms of outreach, right? And we have to understand that there's different offices, there's different jobs, right? Not everybody can be an eye, not everybody can be a hand, not everybody can be a shoulder. Sometimes you got to be that pinky toe, and you got to rock with being that pinky toe. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's so right.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't gonna let people think of pinky toe is a small part, but lose your pinky toe.
That thing important. See
how much you needed it. Lose your pinky toe, and you gonna find yourself leaning to the right out of nowhere. You gonna be standing still, leaning to the right, like.
Yep, and that's exactly what we was talking about it, because when I was having this conversation with my father before about to say, he was like, listen. He said, listen, the Most High has a particular calling on you that's not the same as the calling on me or the calling on your mother or on somebody else. So it was like, listen, this is I see you. You're my son. I know you. I've raised you. So up until this point, I know where you need to be. I know who you're going to be. The Most High showed me that, right? And it was mainly about me standing up as a man and saying, listen, I'm going to step out. I'm going to step on faith with the Most High and make this thing happen. So the crazy part is the way, you know, the crazy part is I was going to go into that. So that's huge, man. You're doing the work for me, man. You make this thing easy.
That's crazy. Yeah. I just wanted to tap on that, because you were saying like basically how I can help people reflect, and I got to let people know, like, if you like, no matter what you're doing in life, just have a purpose, bro. Like, if you want to be great, just have a purpose and let it be for good, because like, you're gonna find yourself lost if you go, like, if you follow up after all the wrong influences in life. Once you get older and that stuff don't matter to you anymore, you can be like, okay, what's next? You get what I'm saying? You got to start it now to where like, okay, this is what I want for myself. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that the legacy you leave is going to have an effect on your children, others people's children, grown adults, everyone. You know what I'm saying? You got to have an effect on people. That's what It's not about us individually. It's about
Mhm.
everyone else as a family.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it's about. Like every lyric in my song with it is not for me. Yeah, I can tell my story when but I know for a fact that I'm not the only one that feel this way. I'm not special. You get what I'm saying? Like I know I'm not the only one that feel this way.
Exactly.
So it's being there for each other. It's being there for each other any way possible you can be. Again, I'm not social media savvy as much as I need to be because I focus on my craft and I focus on the business. You get what I'm saying? That's the important part. People don't understand. The business is the most crucial thing about this all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what nobody said. You're not gonna hear a song from me unless my business is right. You're not gonna hear nothing from me. Let's just know everything is copywritten. Everything is like I got IPC numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like everything is legit. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's time to get put out, I can move it any way I want to that way. I can choose a crowd. Like I can do what I want that way. I have more freedom that way instead of having all these stimulations behind me just doing music. Then I'm just throw it on SoundCloud and then crying yourself to sleep, wondering why it ain't working.
Because you got that thing got one view on it.
Yeah, like you sitting there crying. Like, why nobody messing with me yet? When I blow up, I ain't gonna be talking to none of y'all. But it's like, no, it's how you're moving. You get what I'm saying? You gotta make people want it. You can't like if people like I said, like if I kept oversaturating and dropping every week, people ain't gonna tune in because they're like, okay, I can just tune in next week.
Exactly.
I can just tune in next week. They're not gonna tune in. But if I make them wait and get them what they needed, then
like,
give the product of what I see. Give the product of what I see and actually what I envision. Then they're gonna all tune in. They're gonna be like, okay, boom, it's there. They're gonna have to wait after that, but
exactly. Exactly. I mean, and that's and we talked about that too. Is we talked about that too. Was like, listen, the scriptures say, "Let everything be done in decency and in order." Right? Do your due diligence. Make that thing. Schedule it out. Make that thing work. You understand what I'm saying? And the way you're moving, it ultimately what it's gonna do is it's gonna have an effect on what you're on the value that your music has in the future. One of the biggest things one of the biggest reasons why Andre 3000 is still considered to be one of the greatest musicians of all time is because he's a complete mystery. You never know. You never see him coming.
Got Instagram.
Exactly. This man, he knows he's coming, right? He knows he's coming. And he knows what he's doing. Nobody else does. So when he does pop out, it's like, okay, this dude came prepared, right?
Listen, pictures with him with a flute go viral. He's not even playing the flute. Like every time he find this dude with his flute, I see him like everywhere. It's like it's crazy. Like even to see this guy is like it's something crazy. And like imagine if he dropped something. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the level that I'm trying to be on. Where I can walk around with a I don't know, a flute. And people just taking pictures.
Piccolo. Not even a flute, walk around with a piccolo.
I ain't dropping another song. Listen, all I gotta do is carry a flute and you take a picture and I'm relevant.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and we know more things to come. We know there's more great things to come from you. Obviously, you've done Dear Babylon, Unjustified. You did a Vision with Spirit of Songs or Elder Akashiar, your father, Lethal. And now you have Painting a Canvas, which is dropping tonight, everybody. Painting a Canvas is going to be dropping tonight, which is why this thing was so huge. Was talking about it before it started. I was like, it's crazy that the first day, the season premiere is the day before his single Painting a Canvas drops. And we were talking about this almost a year ago, saying, "Man, this is gonna be a game changer." It comes around full circle, man. That's the most high right there, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. That
the way this thing came full circle.
I didn't even peep that. When you pointed that out, like the fact that we had this conversation like almost a year ago, and you scheduled the podcast and everything, and that's happening, and that happened to be where it dropped. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. Stuff like that scares me, man. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, man. So before we get into where everybody can book you and get in contact with you, the final question that I had is, tell us how this particular project, painting a canvas, is different from all the others that you've done in the past or that you've released so far.
The reason first time is the main thing that make it different is the beat. I'm doing drill, not New York drill, UK drill. You get what I'm saying? And it's lyrically, I would say, an ability where like anyone can understand. Because
Mm-hmm.
I try to make it as lyrical as possible without
Mm-hmm.
it being over. You mean it kind of
Yeah,
notches and
overdone.
notches and notches, like going
Yeah.
all like saying stuff that the people can't understand. Well, give me
Mm-hmm.
1 second. Give me 1 second, man.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play. So what we're gonna do is prior to we're gonna put up his how to get in contact with him, right? So his contact information, his booking information. We have so you can either call or text him at 215-436-3100, and his email is jazel@yahoo.com for all booking, performances, and other projects. Definitely go there, book him, reach out. He don't bite, y'all. I mean, he don't. Just definitely, if you have any inquiries or anything like that concerning business, definitely hit him up to make some things happen. Right?
Mm-hmm. And sorry about that. Before I got
No worries, no
distracted, when
worries.
it comes to the song, what they expect from painting the canvas is something I never done before. It's something that no one ever heard from me before.
Mm-hmm.
It's straight rap. It's melodies I never tried before. It's
Mm-hmm.
flows I never tried before, and it's just an all round new Zealous.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exciting for what's to come. Because like thing is, and one thing that people did, if y'all didn't notice it about my music, because I know I ain't got much out there. But one thing I didn't notice about my music is you can go to one song and none of them sound the same.
Mm-mm.
None of them sound the same. All my songs are 1-on-1s, all of them. And this is another one, a 1-on-1. So I'm basically the song called "Painting the Canvas." It's
Mm-hmm.
me painting the story for you guys to let you know like how ridiculous this world is,
Mm-hmm.
how ridiculous some things are, and I like just get a full picture of what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I call it painting the canvas. It's really getting a picture of what's really going on and really understanding, like, yo, like, this ain't temporary.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't a phase. Like, this is really happening. Like, certain lyrics in the song. I don't want to give too much. I don't want to spoil
Yeah.
it. That's why I'm stumbling, because I don't want to spoil it. But like, yeah, tonight at 12 it drops. You know what I'm saying? Y'all dissect it. Y'all take what y'all want from it. Y'all tell me if it's good or bad. I take all constructive criticism. I don't believe that everyone should like my music. I don't
Mm-hmm.
believe that, because that's not how I got into music. Shout
Mm-hmm.
out to Ariel Gabar again. I do not care what you have to say, because good or bad feedback can help me.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? If
Mm-hmm.
it's something that you don't like, if you don't like this one, I'm gonna make something that you don't want to hear. And if
Mm-hmm.
that person don't want to make, I'm gonna make something they don't want to hear. But I'm gonna also stay true to myself, and I'm gonna also stay with the vision. But I'm gonna take what y'all say into consideration, so I can be better for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So don't,
Exactly.
like, when we all dissect it, don't even worry about hurting my feelings, because
Mm-hmm.
you can't. Ariel already did. You mean?
He said, "Y'all
he
handled
already,
that business over a decade ago."
he already did. That phase is over.
I want to remind all the viewers. He also has his songs "Dear Babylon," "Unjustified," which is probably one of my favorites. "Unjustified" is one of my favorites.
All praises. That was a true story too, man. All praises.
Definitely, man. That was one of my favorites, by far one of my favorites. And you have Lethal and Painting a Canvas, which is going to be dropping tonight. Again, everybody, 12 o'clock. It drops on all platforms, so make sure that you're there. Listen, like it. I know y'all. Listen. That like I said before, is two words: game changer. Game
Appreciate you,
changer.
man.
Any closing remarks before we let you go, man?
No, I'm good. I said everything I needed to say, man. I feel
Now,
good. Like I feel like a weight is off my shoulders. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
hey man, that's a blessing. I want to thank you for coming on, man. Today was definitely, we've been talking about making this happen for a long time, and I'm glad we finally got to do it, man. I appreciate it. So I definitely, we're gonna have to have you back eventually when you drop your next project. We're gonna have to have you back again. This was probably definitely one of my favorite interviews, if not the number one favorite. This
Oh
was the
man.
best way to
All
kick
praises,
off
man.
season 5 of On the Spot, and I can't wait for the rest of them to come after, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
Yo,
Thank you for
thank you for
coming on.
having me, bro. This is my very, very first interview, and all I did was put a post up, and you was like, bro, hit me. You get what I'm
Listen,
saying?
yeah.
Because that post came. It was all straight off an impulse. I woke up that morning feeling that way. You get what I'm saying? It was all of a He said, "Hold on, this Ori right here. That's why you a beast, little bro. You ain't worried about with nobody." Yeah, exactly. Like he told me straight up. He said, "Listen, that's wet. Go write something else." I wipe my tears, but like if it wasn't for this brother, man, I wouldn't be the artist I am today. And he forever the OG. He know that though. He's forever the OG. But yeah, what was I getting at? Yeah. So, and I want to say thank you to you, bro, because like this is the very first time someone gave me this opportunity, and I praise the Most High for someone like you, because like no one, I never did an interview. I didn't even want to do an interview, to be honest with you, because I'm like, what's the point? But like, I woke up one day, a straight up impulse was like, yo, Ezo, it's time to just, even if you want to tell your story, just tell your testimony. You get what I'm saying? You gotta let it free, because I'm still thinking about who my father is and how people gonna look at me. But at the end of the day, like, Ezo, it's your story. It can't affect no one, no way possible. You get what I'm saying? It can't affect you. If people still looking at the person that you are, that's not no longer living, that's up to them to be mad at the ghost. Because the person I was back then is not who I am today. You know what I'm saying?
In the ground, man. He in the ground.
So yeah, that's what I had to really say to end it out. Really, I really appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody that locked in to really listen to the whole thing and gave me a chance to really, let it out. And also, when it's time for the EP to go, when it comes, I'm not gonna lie to you. I keep saying I'm gonna drop that EP, but like I keep switching songs. I keep switching. Like it's not like certain songs won't hit the way it needs to. Because this EP is more personal than my first album. You know what I'm saying? My first album is pretty much done, but I want to drop this EP first so y'all can see the type of sounds I'm dabbling into, so y'all can hear what's coming for the album. The way they expect from me. You're like, y'all gonna hear what y'all. I'm telling you, man. I'm like, you talking about genres. Like I don't even know what genre to listen to EP. To be honest with you, I don't know. I really don't know.
Hey man, trust me. Whatever you do, we all know what it. We already know what it is. We already know it's gonna snap. Like you said, you got 150 in there. You better go through.
No, those is clips. You know what I'm saying? If I need a unreleased purple tape or something, like, all right, here we go. You get what I'm saying? But like,
yeah.
But I'm always working on new music all the time, bro. So the fact is, I work on that next one, and I'll be like, oh, that last one is good. I'm like, hold on. Like, I think I got something right there. Then I'll make some. Like, for instance, my guy that was in here, Vibes from Neto, we recorded something. I believe it was last Saturday night. He came over and we recorded something. And I record. That's when I previewed on Instagram. And I said, if y'all want to hear it, I'm gonna be performing a live show. When I recorded that one, I'm like, hold on, this is better than the last one. I didn't preview the last one I recorded, but I'm listening to it. I'm like, yo, nah, I ain't gonna put that. I might put this one on there. But then again, I can't decide because I gotta see what I do after this. Like usually I get the best of the best of like the 7 songs I got. I'm gonna get the best of the 7 songs I got at that moment. And then I'm gonna start picking my album out and start really filtering it. And I'm gonna have a listening for my album when it comes before it drops. I'm gonna have like 10 people or 20 people, however, just come and just listen to it, dissect it. I'm gonna have consumers, I'm gonna have musicians, and I'm gonna have journalists there also. You know what I'm saying? So they can, in all aspects, listen to it and dissect it and let me know what's missing or if it's a masterpiece. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Constructive criticism is how I work. I don't do anything unless it's ran through the books. That's order anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's order anyway. I don't just drop anything. I don't do that.
Hey man, like I said, we all know we know whatever you coming with next after this song. Well, we gonna stick with what's dropping tonight. Well, we know it's dropping tonight. Painting the canvas, that's gonna go hard. It's gonna go crazy, and then we know that you have coming soon. You have Friendly and Emotion.
Yeah.
Which I already know that's gonna be some fire. Thank you for coming on, man. Definitely, like I said, anytime you want to come back on, just say the word, right?
No,
just say the
definitely.
word. And I also say right now that this was worth waiting on, man. This was worth waiting on. If we had come on last season when I wanted you to come on, it wouldn't have been the same as it is today.
That's me. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, how things lined up. Yeah.
Definitely.
So it's really meant to be.
Definitely, man. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and hang in there. We'll talk when we gonna talk when this thing is over. definitely. But definitely a blessing to have you on. Remember, everybody, painting a canvas and frenemies and emotion. Thank you, Zeluz, for coming on. You be blessed, man. And we're gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap this thing up.
Got you. See y'all later, man. Thank you for everybody that tuned in.
All right. Now, for everybody that's still in, thank you so much for sticking through. This is probably the most fun that I've had and the most enjoyable interview that I've had to date. It's been awesome. It's been great, everybody. Thank you for sticking in. All the comments, all the love in the group. Make sure you remember, like, share, comment, subscribe. And no, we will be back next week with another interview Thursday, 6:30. You know we here every week during season 5. What a way to kick it off. What a way to kick off season 5. This is amazing. Shout out to our producer. He did his thing. He killed it. Right. Shout out to Envision and EOE Records, right? as well. So definitely shout out to them, because I mean, this work that's being done is a powerful work from my brother ZELUZ. He's definitely doing his thing. So for everybody that tuned in tonight, thank you. Remember, like, share, comment, subscribe. You see our social medias right here above my head. I'm glad, and remember to hit that like button as well. And y'all be blessed as well. Good night.